Alright, it hasn't been too long since I did the announcement for the Predator Q&A, but in that time frame, I've got about close to 60 questions. So you guys can tell this is probably going to be a long Q&A, but as always with these Q&As, if I did not answer someone's question, that usually means YouTube was being a dick and had it, taken off the list, either marked it as spam or didn't even have it show up at all. So I do apologize if I didn't answer someone's question. That's YouTube's fault, and I'm deeply, sorry that I wasn't able to get your question. All right. So having said that, let's go into the questions. Starting off with Mr. Emerald 123, whose first question is, how would you write a Predator Guardians of the Galaxy crossover? Just have the Predator hunting the Guardians of the Galaxy, or maybe have it that the Predator is hunting the Chitauri or the Skrulls, and the Guardians of the Galaxy get mixed up in it. There you go. Alright, what would Steven Universe and the Predator think of each other? I think Steven would think he's like some cool monster superhero, while the Predator would look at Steven and just be like, you are not worthy to hunt at all, kid. But yeah, that's how I see it. And third question, favorite Predator fight? There's been a few. I did enjoy the fight from Batman versus Predator, if we're going to go by comic-wise. The fight between Batman versus Predator, the fight between the Xenomorphs and the Predator group in Alien vs. Predator Eternal, which I highly recommend if you like AVP stuff. AVP Eternal is a pretty awesome comic. And it's another good one. There's a few, but those ones come to mind, so yeah. Anyway, thank you for those questions. Mr. Emmel, moving on now to Gaslight 88. First question: what if the Predator was hunting the following: werewolves, vampires, dragons, and what would happen? I always kind of found it interesting if the Predator hunted I'm surprised the Dark Horse didn't really delve into that, of the Predator hunting more supernatural opponents, like him hunting the Predators hunting werewolves or vampires or even dragons. I think that's a lot of undiscovered territory. But I could see it. I could definitely see it. It'd be a lot of fun. All right. If they made another Batman vs. Predator comic, what would you like to see in it? I think what I would like to see is the Predator. Maybe have the Predator. Maybe have it that just go back to classics of just Batman and Predator fighting all throughout Gotham, and maybe add some Batman villains in there too for extra measure. That's good rum and Coke. Well, Jack and Coke, but yeah. Anyway, so thank you for that question. Your final question is, I know you don't like many crossover questions, but what would you see if the Predator ended up in these universe? 2012 TMNT, Gravity Falls, Black Lagoon, Friday the 13th, and Jurassic Park. Okay, the TMNT, again, I think that'd be really cool if the Predator hunting the turtles in any incarnation. I'm surprised. Why hasn't that happened yet? Seriously, why hasn't that happened? If we don't get an announcement soon of Predator hunting something other than Archie, which, by the way, I am really stoked for the Archie versus Predator comic because of how frickin' ridiculous it is, and I love it. So I'm really excited for Archie versus Predator. But having said that, after that crossover happens, Dark Horse, can we get some more serious crossovers? I'd like to see Predator hunt something other than a guy who's never aged since the 50s. Yeah. So the Turtles would be a nice start. Gravity Falls would be interesting. Maybe have the Predator crash landed in Gravity Falls by accident, and now he's just kind of avoiding everyone, and maybe have it Stan fights the Predator. I don't know. Black Lagoon. Now, this is actually something I've constantly thought about. I've always wanted to do a Black Lagoon Predator crossover. That just makes so much goddamn sense to me that, Roanapur is a place where, there's violence, there's heat. It's everything that would attract a predator to that city, and it makes so much sense, and I'm surprised. At least to my knowledge, I haven't seen a fanfiction yet of a Black Lagoon Predator crossover. I've been trying to write one for a while, and I just couldn't get it off the ground. Maybe I need to go back and write that again, because god damn it, that's such a perfect territory right there. Every time I watch an episode of Black Lagoon, I'm like, man, just having a Predator in this universe would make so much sense. Yeah. And Friday the 13th, well, I can tell you that that crossover is kind of happening in Mortal Kombat X because Jason and the Predator are going to be in the game as DLC characters. So, yeah, you can have Jason versus Predator in the comics. I mean, in video game form. Yay! And Jurassic Park. That's another thing I've always wanted to do is Jurassic Park and Predator. And I actually had a really good story for that as well that's been kind of festering in my head for a while. And actually, one of my good friends, Yoko Higuchi, he's a fan film director and slash short film director here on YouTube, and he does some really good stuff. He's a fellow G fan, and I gave him an idea for a fake trailer of a Jurassic Park Predator fan trailer, and he loved it so much he actually made it into a fake trailer. It's called I think it's just called Jurassic Park Predator, or Predator Jurassic Park. Can't remember what it was, but it's an actual cool fan trailer that he made, and I thought it's really short, but it has some really cool details. But yeah, the story is that the story I've always wanted to use is that a predator comes to Isla Sorna and starts hunting the dinosaurs, but while he's there, a group of big game, like these rich asshole big game hunters, sneak into the island to bag dinosaurs for trophies, and then they ended up, shit happens, and now they're being hunted by both the dinosaurs and the predator. So, yeah, that's my idea right there. That's been kind of festering my head for a while, but yeah. Anyway, thank you for those questions, Gaslight88. Moving on now to Therese Uno, who asks, what are your top 5 princesses you want the Predator to kill, and what fictional characters do you want the Predator to kill? Disney princess. I don't really want Disney princesses to die. I mean, I like them all. Yeah, I kind of like them all, so I don't really have any princesses on my hit list. And I don't think the Predator... Maybe Mulan he would want to hunt. Maybe Mulan. And maybe Merida. Possibly. And fictional characters? Robbie from Gravity Falls. Yeah, so thank you for that question. Moving on now to... Oh, hey James! My good friend James Wetley, a.k.a. the Great Southern Trendkill 85. And his first question is, what favorite Predator story in comics that you've read? Ah, man, there's so many good ones. Big Game is a really good one. There's another one. I can't remember the name of it, but it's basically a Predator in the Civil War hunting Confederate soldiers. It's really good. There's also one where the Predator's fighting pirates, and is hunting pirates, and it's actually ties into the flintlock pistol that was given to Danny Glover's character in Predator 2. I thought that was a really cool tie-in. And there's a really fun one-shot Predator comic called, I think, Terror from the Third Dimension. It's like this really campy 50s style story of this kid who can see the Predator with 3D when it's cloaked with 3D goggles. And he and his uncle, who's like this big movie producer, run around trying to run from the Predator. It's like this stupid B-movie, but I love it. And it does have the Predator kill people, so yeah. Alright. How would you feel about a Predator as an anime movie or series? That's one of the things I've always wanted as an anime, really. Up there with Godzilla and Alien. That's something I've always wanted to see as an anime, because it just the style you can do with it makes so much sense to transition into anime, or, animation in general. But yeah. Anyway, so, final question is, how awesome would a Predator versus Riddick crossover be in your mind? On a scale of 1 to 10, that would be amazing. I know Vin Diesel, if I remember right, Vin Diesel made a joke of wanting to do a Riddick Predator crossover, and you could see the Predators existing in the Riddick universe, and the Xenomorphs. Yeah, you could see the aliens and Predators in the Riddick universe. So, yeah, I'd be down for Vin Diesel fighting a Predator as Riddick. I'd be down for that. Anyway, thank you for those questions, James. Moving on now to Treva Smolka, whose first question is, what is your opinion on the movie Predators? And do you think the Shane Black movie is going to pick up where the movie left off, or is it going to take place on Earth? Just wondering. I like Predators. It's not a great movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it does get that bad Alien vs. Predator movie taste out of your mouth, especially Requiem. Oh my god, Requiem's so fucking bad. Predators goes back to the jungle, it goes back to a lot of basics, the characters are pretty good, and it's just one big Robert Rodriguez, one big love letter to Predators in general. Shane Black movie, I don't know what he's going to do with it. I wouldn't mind if it's like if it's still in the same continuity but its own movie at the same time, similar to how Predators was. I'd be down for that. Anyway, second question. What is your favorite Alien vs. Predator comic, video game, or Predator crossover in your opinion? Okay, I know you said that the AVP game was pretty good. I actually own the AVP Sega game for Xbox 360. I actually own that, and I've played it. I've actually been replaying it, believe it or not, recently as of this recording. I've been replaying it lately, and I'm just like, God, the controls for the Predator are so shaky. I mean, the human missions are fun, and the alien missions are like, half the time I'm like, where the hell do I go? Where the hell do I go? Come on, give me a frickin' marker. Yeah, the Predator missions are also very clunky, and the stealth goes out every time you make an attack. I understand it's supposed to make, it's supposed to, what's the word I'm looking for? Be a little more high stakes of the Predator. But yeah, the Predator stayed cloak all the time when he was killing people. So why is it decloak every time I have to make an action move? Or, excuse me, attack, or whatever. Anyway. But having said that, though, I think my favorite Alien vs. Predator comic was the first Alien vs. Predator comic put out by Dark Horse. I actually own the omnibus of the first volume of that. Also, AVP Eternal's pretty good. Favorite Predator crossover is Batman vs. Predator, because that is so frickin' good. I know, like, when you think crossovers, Batman vs. Predator is one of them, but it's good reason. It's a nice little, short, 3-issue, damn good story with some really good story. Yeah, there's some major good storytelling in there. Anyway, final question. Out of all the Predator species and weaponry, which Predator or Predators is your all-time favorite? The Predator from the first movie, second movie, AVP, or... okay. My favorite Predator is the Predator we saw in the first movie. That one was like the Predator you think of every time you watch a Predator movie, and that's the one, that's the original design right there. So that's my Predator right there. Although I do like all the other Predator designs. The bigger Predators are kind of iffy because it's just Robert Rodriguez saying, "Look at how awesome my Predators are." When really it's like, with those Predators, it felt like if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know what I mean? But I digress. Anyway, thank you for those questions, Travis Smoka. Moving on now to Kobe Romy. I hope I am not butchering that last name. Sorry, Kobe. But, first question. Who would win a fight, Kraven the Hunter or the Predator? Oh, that'd be such a... that would be such an awesome fight. That's a really tough one, honestly. That's a really tough one, honestly. I don't know who would come out on top on that one. So I don't know. Second question. What would you do if you met the Predator in real life? Hopefully I'm not carrying a gun and he just passes me by, because I don't want my skull to be a trophy. Alright, your third question is, what would you do if you were a Predator? Hunt and kill people. And get a lot of trophies, like a Predator do. Anyway. Thank you for those questions, Kobe. Moving on now to John Kelly, whose first question is, what would you like to see the Predator crossover with no holds barred? Well, I kind of already answered that, John, so sorry. Second question, favorite Predator movie? Honestly, I like all the Predator movies. Yeah, even Predator 2. And I know someone asked me a question on Predator 2, and I'll get to my thoughts on that. Because while I like it, it's not a perfect film. But yeah, I like all the Predator movies. Not counting the AVP movies, because that's both Alien and Predator movies. But if you were to ask me, like, ranking the, Predator, Predator 2, and Predators, it would have to be, actually, in that list, Predator at the top, Predator 2 at second place. Actually, no, Predators would be in second place. Predator 2 would be in third place. So yeah, Predator, Predators, and then Predator 2. Anyway. So your third question is, Mega Man with all the Robot Master's powers from every game versus 3 Predators. Yeah, even with 3 Predators, Mega Man's still gonna kick some ass. Yeah. Anyway, So thank you for those questions, John Kelly. Moving on and now to Whipwreck69, who asks, do you think the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. could take on the Predator? Maybe May. Yeah, May would probably be the only one who could take on a Predator, honestly. How would a Predator fare in a zombie apocalypse? It'd be interesting to see a Predator in that kind of situation. Again, going back to the vampires and werewolves, it's another supernatural situation in a sense of this, alien creature running into something supernatural. I think that I don't know if the Predator would be like, they're all just a bunch of shambling dead. What's the point? And move on or whatever. And your final question is, what are your thoughts on Predator 2? I like Predator 2. I understand that it's not a great movie by any stretch of the imagination. But it's not. I don't think it's a terrible movie. I think everyone in there is really good in that film. Everyone has a lot of good moments in that film. It's a really cool idea of bringing the Predator from the jungle to the concrete jungle and still making it kind of cohesive and continue on from that. I actually thought the idea of a Predator in a city was a really good idea too. And while I will admit that Danny Glover did more damage to the Predator than Arnold did in the first movie, and it also gets to the point where it's ridiculous with Danny Glover, his character, doing more damage to the than Arnold did as the Predator, and you kind of think to yourself, God. It's also, there's this ridiculous scene where he just starts pulling these guns out of his trunk, and I'm like, are you secretly the Punisher? I don't know. But yeah, good film. I think it's a good film, but it's not a great film, you know what I mean? Alright, Sora versus Ka. Thank you for those questions, Ripwreck. Moving on now to Sora versus Ka, who asks, what do you think of the idea of a Predator being romantically interested in a human female? I've never been really interested in that idea. I mean, if you can pull it off right, then yeah, but I've seen a few fanfictions here and there, but I've never really been completely on the idea, you know what I mean? Never really all about the idea, you know what I mean? Alright, Spider-Man, Ghost Rider, Hulk, and Wolverine versus Predators. The new Fantastic Four, because that's pretty much the lineup right there. Spider-Man, Ghost Rider, Wolverine, and Hulk, the new Fantastic Four, as they were called in that little story arc. But yeah, I'd give it to them. What would happen if the Doctor meets the Predators? What would he think of them? A bunch of hunters. All they are, just a bunch of tribal hunters. And I don't know if they would hunt the Doctor. That'd be... Don't know. Alright. Alright, thank you for those questions, Sora versus Ka. Moving on now to Jerkwater100, who asks, could Evolve, the video game, and Predators work as a crossover? I haven't played Evolve, sadly. I've yet to play Evolve. But the premise sounds like it would work as a Predator crossover. So, maybe? Second question. A Predator versus a Shangheli from Halo. Basically the elites from Halo. I would have to say, yeah, that's actually a crossover I've seen a few times, and I don't know, in a one-on-one fight, an elite and a Predator fighting, that's a tough one to say who could be the definitive winner in that matchup, honestly. Alright, thank you for that question. Moving on to your final question, which is, if a group of Predators is hunting the likes of Jar Jar Binks, Dr. Doofenshmirtz, and Robbie, who do you think will last the longest? I'm gonna have to say Doofenshmirtz, because he's the one character I like out of that trio. Yeah, so give it to Doofenshmirtz. He's also incredibly lucky. Or unlucky on how you look at it. But yeah, thank you for those questions, Jerkwater. Moving on now to Imagine Nate. Oh, that's clever. Imagine Nate. First question is, how would you do a Predator reboot? Yeah, can't talk. How would you do a Predator reboot? I don't really want a reboot. I guess the one way you could look at it is like maybe have a Predator in the Middle East. Maybe, yeah, have a Predator in the Middle East, or have a Predator, somewhere in Africa, somewhere where there's a lot of conflict currently going on in the world right now, because that was the original thing with the Predator, was that it was always drawn to heat and conflict. Well, there's a lot of heat and conflict around the world, so yeah. So Africa, the Middle East, maybe even have a Predator on the height of a World War III with North Korea or something. I don't know. That would be something to behold. Actually, no. I think one of the most interesting places you could put the Predator, and it would work, is Australia, because it's got Australia has such a diverse ecosystem in each area. You've got jungles, you've got desert, you've got forest areas. So you could, and it's always hot around, and it has a different climate change every time, but it's mostly hot there. So actually, how about have a Predator in Australia? That'd be interesting. Not fighting Crocodile Dundee, mind you, but yeah. Anyway, what would happen if the Predator was put in the Marvel Universe? He'd be hunting all the street-level heroes. Yeah, all the street-level heroes. Alright. Which Predator comic book crossover is your favorite? Kind of already answered this already, Imaginate, so sorry. But thank you for those other questions, though. Moving right along to Nicholas Harley, who asks, excuse me, if you were to make a Predator Steven Universe Mortal Kombat crossover, what would be the plot, fight scenes, and ending? I don't know if I can think of anything on the spot right there. Maybe have it that Quan Chi is after Steven's gem and the Predator gets mixed up and shenanigans ensue. That's all I got. There is another question you had, but it's not pertaining to Predator. But I'll just answer this real quick. I will be doing another Steven Universe Q&A in the future, sometime in the future. Just want to watch a few more episodes, and then eventually I'm getting around to a Steven Universe Q&A. So yeah, to another one at least. Anyway, third question. What do you think of the future of the Predator franchise? The only thing I ask for is that you don't reboot it, because I like this whole thing that the Predator series has yet to be rebooted. Anyway, so thank you for those questions, Nicholas. Moving on now to the Son of the Dragon, who asks, did you know the Predator is a member of the Sinestro Corps in DC Comics? Yes, I did. There's a quick cameo of both an alien, of a xenomorph, and a Predator in the Sinestro Corps. I think they got killed off because of copyright reasons, but yeah. Alright, what would happen if the Predator met the Crystal Gems, Korra and her friends, the Ninja Turtles, and Shredder? Oh, and the Doctor, can't forget the Doctor. Well, I kind of answered the Doctor and the Crystal Gems and the Ninja Turtles thing. Korra would be, again, that's another interesting idea of the Predator in Republic City and Korra and her friends hunting it, and, who's hunting who kind of scenario. Crystal Gems, kind of already answered that, so... Yeah, I kind of already answered most of that, so yeah. Ooh, I like this question right here. In Mortal Kombat X, we see the characters have unique dialogue with one another. What do you think it might be for the Predator? Someone better say, "You are one ugly motherfucker." Also, oh, okay. For those who don't know, in Mortal Kombat X, apparently each character, when you play as them in multiplayer, they each have unique dialogue before they fight. So what I'm hoping for is, maybe one of the characters, I bet you would be Johnny Cage who would say it. I damn well bet you would be Johnny Cage who would say, "You are one ugly motherfucker." And for the Predator, I can imagine him, just decloaking and just going, "Over here." Or just, "Over here." Or, just decloak and just be like, "Anytime." Yeah. So the Predator better be saying "over here" or "anytime" for that. Yeah. So, really interested in that. Anyway, thank you for those questions, Son of the Dragon. Moving on now to Matt Bennett. What is your favorite Predator design? Mine is the City Hunter. Like I said, I like all the Predator designs. I'm kind of a little biased for original Predator design. I like Robert Rodriguez's, bigger Predators because they're a different species. But I just felt like it was just like him saying, "My Predators are better than those Predators," when there was nothing really wrong with the Predators to begin with. Alright, second question. How many Predators does it take to screw in a light bulb? one while the other two are busy, removing someone's skull out of their body. Alright. If you could insert the Predator to be a recurring enemy to any superhero, which would it be and why? I think Moon Knight would be one. Yeah, Moon Knight would probably be the best because you could have it... Moon Knight is this just insane, think-out-of-the-box kind of take-no-prisoners hero, and that could work for the Predator. Yeah. So I'd say Moon Knight. Okay, moving on now to Dylan Malone 14, who asks, how do you think the Predator Society works? I kind of imagine it being something like a mixture of something like ancient pagan cultures like Vikings and Gaelic traditions, and yeah, just very honor is involved. Better trophies means higher standing, different gods, stuff like that. That's how I kind of imagine their society working. Second question. What's a Predator day-to-day lifestyle? Hunt, kill, hunt, kill, hunt, kill. That is it. A Predator lands on Atmos and sees the Stormhawks. What's going to happen? Well, I wouldn't say the Stormhawks. I would say that the Predator... I did have another idea for a while of the Predator not landing and fighting the Stormhawks, but the Predator landing on Bo-Katan and fighting Repton. Because Repton, when you think about it, out of all the characters in Stormhawks, I think he would be the most dangerous opponent for the Predator, because Repton is pretty much the Predator of the Stormhawks universe, when you think about it. He is this, he collects trophies, he's a master hunter, he believes in, he does have a twisted sense of honor, and he's just he's an excellent tracker, he's very strong-willed, and he's an excellent hand-to-hand fighter. So the Predator would probably look at him like, this is equal prey to myself, so I'm going to hunt him. And Repton would be like, oh, I get it, you're a hunter. I am a hunter too, so it would be very much a cat-and-mouse game for that. But if it was the Stormhawks caught in the crossfire, I don't know how long they could last, honestly. I don't know. Alright, so thinking of those questions, Dylan Malone. Moving on now to Grimlock1992, who asks, do you think the Predator will try to hunt the Doctor, and if so, which Doctor works best? I don't know, because I don't know if they would find the Doctor worthy prey. Then again, he was responsible for wiping out 2 races, so maybe he'd be on their list? It would probably be Eccleston, too, if they were hunting a Doctor. Alright, second question. Do you think a Predator could be Jedi or Sith? Maybe. Well, Sith, probably. More Sith than Jedi. And what if... Oh, okay, I just answered that, of the Predator and Stormhawks, yeah. Okay. Sorry, I had to get more drink. Okay, which Power Ranger... Okay, this next set of questions come from Zack the Thunder King, who asks, which Power Ranger on their own could go toe-to-toe with a Predator? Well, of course, Tommy motherfucking Oliver, because it's Tommy motherfucking Oliver. We all know this. As, having the White Ranger Tiger power... Whoa, I'll stop. You guys can tell I've been drinking. Anyway... So yeah, Tommy, Carter from Lightspeed Rescue, Jason as either the Red Ranger or the Gold Zeo Ranger. Those guys right there, and okay, Leo from Lost Galaxy, and. Yeah, maybe Andros, too. And the Magna Defender. Yeah, Magna Defender, too. Okay. If you encountered a Predator and won, what item would you take? Plasma cannon. Because plasma cannon, that's why. Alright. What anime would a Predator watch? Black Lagoon... I would imagine also Tokyo Ghoul, Attack on Titan, and just writing down a list of, okay, if these were real, I need to hunt these. Just jotting it down. Stuff like that. So something with to do with prey and predators. So, yeah, stuff like that. Okay. Uh, Next, thank you for this question, Zach. Moving on now to Andrew Varney, who asks, Predator encounters any of the following characters from Ben 10 and the Plumbers: Perfect Cell, the Monks from Xiaolin Showdown, Samus Aran, Necromorphs from Dead Space, or the Teen Titans. Predator and Ben 10 would be pretty cool. Perfect Cell would probably kill him. The Monks would probably have a difficult time. Samus would be an interesting one as well. Necromorphs would be terrifying, and I think the Predator would be a little, I think he wouldn't find it interesting because they're already dead. And the Teen Titans would be something to be interesting to see as well, especially Nightwing and Predator fighting. Alright, second question. Predator ends up in the following universes: Gravity Falls, GTA, Hellsing Ultimate, Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, 2012 TMNT, and Star versus the Forces of Evil. Okay, I already did Gravity Falls, already did Ninja Turtles, Grand Theft Auto. Again, that would make sense that you would see a Predator in Grand Theft Auto. I mean, they're each horrible cities, so yeah. Hellsing Ultimate, Alucard would absorb it in a heartbeat. I hate to say it. Mighty Morphin, again, just leave it to Tommy motherfucking Oliver and we'll all be fine. And Star versus the Forces of Evil, I feel bad for Marco. But I don't know if, maybe the Predator would want to get the wand as a trophy? So, third question. Predator's reaction to playing Five Nights at Freddy's, Slender's 8 Pages, or getting stuck on It's a Small World at Disneyland. I think he would just activate, for It's a Small World, he would just activate the bomb and just take himself out and everything else in that little room. Slender, you would just be like, ugh, Slender bad. Shoulder cannon, along with Five Nights at Freddy's. And also the newest Five Nights at Freddy's. You would just shoot the shoulder cannon out of fright. Oh. So think of those questions, Andrew Varney. Moving on now. Oh, looks like we got another question from Therese Uno, who says, Predator versus RoboCop, who would win? I don't know, but stay tuned. You may have to see in future fight sections, because I think that may be a fight someone gave me for the all RoboCop section, which is right after the all Gwen Tennyson section, which I need to get to because, yeah, I've been on the Captain America section for a while now. Need to wrap that up soon. Anyway. So thank you for that question. Moving on now to Serpent Talata, who asks, favorite Predator weapon? I have to go with the shoulder cannon. I just always found, when you knew that those 3 red lights clicked on somebody, you knew they probably weren't getting back up. So yeah, the shoulder cannon. Since Alien and Predator share universes, what other aliens from pop culture do you see sharing the universe as well? Maybe the aliens from Starship Troopers? That'd be cool. I know in the Dark Horse comics they've now made it that the alien predators and the creatures from Prometheus all exist in one universe. I don't know why. Yeah, so the arachnids from... I think that's what they were called. The arachnids from Starship Troopers, could be wrong. So yeah, there you go. So, third question. So Mabel finds a predator in her backyard. Who could turn this into a parody of Yeah, this would be a parody of E.T. Just have it more bloody and the predator going out and killing people. And then just be like... the predator is just copying Dipper's voice. Phone home. And that's not Dipper at all. But you know what I mean. Yeah, so anyway, thank you for those questions, Serpent. Moving on now to Boo Rat 1, who asks, how would you write a Predators versus Species comic story? I've never really watched Species. Wait. Yeah, I know. I've never watched the Species movies. Because, here's the thing. The Species movies, I've only seen Species 1 once. The other Species movies, I'm told, are pretty terrible. So I've never really been a Species fan because it just kind of got to the point where it was just like, oh, she's naked again, and now she's eating someone. Whoa. Scary. That was my thing. It just sounded like it got repetitive. So I've never really been a big Species fan. Maybe one day I'll just sit down and watch all the Species movies at once and see what works out for me. Anyway, so I can't really answer that question, Boo Rat, sorry. Alright, which of the many AVP comics or novels or games out there do you think would adapt into a movie best or no would complain so much about? I think I think the original comic book from Dark Horse, the original AVP story could work as a movie if you shelled out enough movie for a budget. Just gave it enough budget for that movie. Have it on a different world, have it in the future, and have it, the aliens and predators killing everybody. So yeah, the original AVP comic from Dark Horse. I think that would be the best choice. Alright. Moving right along to your third question. And what alien species from any form of media would you want to see the Predator hunt, and which media want to see it done? I think, out of all of these, because you said Halo, Star Wars, and Trek, Marvel and DC, Pitch Black, and Outlaw Star, I think, out of all of those, I think I would have to say the Halo alien. Yeah, the creatures from Halo. Or, better put, maybe the creatures from Star Trek, because Predators versus Klingons, you just can't go wrong with Predators and Klingons fighting. Anyway, think of those questions. Boo Rat 1. Moving on now to, what would be your thoughts if Games Workshop, the company that made the Warhammer games, suddenly brought the Predators into the Warhammer 40k universe as playable race, and who would you want to play as that race? Oh yeah, I would play as the Predators in 40k. That sounds pretty cool. So yeah. Alright. What is your favorite Predator from the classics? Scarface, Wolf, Falcon, or Big Red? I like them all. I know that's, it's a cop-out, but still, I like all the Predators. What do you think of a Predator Ruby crossover Predator, Halo crossover Predator, Star Wars? Well, again, I still haven't watched Ruby. I know, I still have not watched Ruby. Sorry. It's actually on my to-do list now that I've actually listened to some of the music, and I've seen some clips, and I'm like, I need to really get around to watching Ruby, but, life kind of gets in my way a lot. So yeah, I already talked about Predator and Halo, so Predator and Star Wars. Watching Luke try to survive a Predator would be pretty awesome. Anyway, thank you for this question, Spawn117. Moving on now to Andre Partridge, who asks, what will happen if the Predator tried to hunt down these characters? Guardians of the Galaxy, Deathstroke, the Punisher, Ra's al Ghul, Alucard from Hellsing, Goku and Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z, Straw Hats from One Piece, Invader Zim, Mr. Cat from Kid vs. Cat, and Chuck Norris. Okay, I already did Guardians of the Galaxy. Deathstroke would be difficult. Deathstroke and the Punisher would be really difficult. Ra's al Ghul as well. Alucard, as well as Goku and Vegeta, would kill the Predator. Straw Hats, maybe Zolo and Predator. Yeah, Zorro and Predator fighting would be pretty cool. Zim, the Predator would just be like, fuck you, and leave. Mr. Cat, have not watched Kid vs. Cat, sorry. And Chuck Norris would destroy him with just... No, the Predator would kill himself if he had to fight Chuck Norris. And he would give his skull to Chuck Norris. Yeah. Alright. What will happen if a team from a team of four Predators crash landed in the world of Avatar to hunt down Korra and her friends? Mass chaos. Anyway. Alright, what are your third question. What are your thoughts on the Pred-Alien, the Predator-Alien hybrid? What are some of your... Okay. Here's the thing. The Pred-Alien showed up first in AVP Duel in the comics, and it was just meant to be this one-off abomination-type character. It wasn't meant to be this super intelligent, end-all, be-all evil in AVP Requiem. In fact, the two guys directing the movie said they didn't even know what the Pred-Alien was, never read the comics, or were just like, it just has a cool design. Let's just do this. Because we're making a movie. You can tell I'm not a big fan of AVP Requiem. So, Pred-Alien's cool, but it's not like this super villain type level creature. Anyway, thank you for those questions, Andre Partridge. Moving on now to Venom Rules All, who asks, how would you react if we got a Predator Friday the 13th crossover? We kind of are getting that in Mortal Kombat form, really. So technically we are getting Jason and Predator fighting, like I said, in Mortal Kombat. Yeah. Alright, I already talked about Predator and Kraven. Who in Mortal Kombat do you think the Predator would like to hunt the most? Hmm. Maybe Goro. Yeah, maybe Goro or Scorpion. Those two. All right. Next comes Lord Slayer, whose first question is: do you think a fight between the Predator? Okay, again, already answered the Predator and Craven question. Sorry. Second question: have you read the comic book sequel to the Predators film Dark Horse, released a while back? I have read that. I actually did read that comic. I actually did read that story, and it was pretty good. It was interesting to see all the different tribes and species of predator, but it didn't really answer a lot of questions in terms of what to do with those characters. It just felt like an afterthought, really. That story felt more like an afterthought than anything else. Yeah. But thank you for those questions, Lord Slayer. Moving on now to Nick Lenz, whose first question is: have you thought of getting the Predator, Aliens, Prometheus, and Alien vs. Predator crossover, Fire and Stone? Yes, and again, even though Prometheus, the more I know a while back I talked about it was one of my favorite movies of the year it came out, but the more I watched, the more I realized, man, this was just not a good movie. So, with Prometheus, I don't mind that it's in the same universe. Dark Horse is putting it in the same universe as the Aliens and Predators. So maybe I will probably read that, because I have heard good things about Fire and Stone. Alright. Sorry, I had to get more drink. Alright. Do you think the Predator, along with the Alien and Prometheus universe, taking the place of Star Wars, could be, now that they've lost the rights to doing Star Wars, unfortunately? So, it could, but I don't know. I mean, it's Star Wars. You had Dark Horse put years and years and years of thought process into that universe, and yeah, now they have to think of something else, and maybe they could do that with AVP? Who knows? Anyway, and your third question, Predator 2, I already answered that question, Nick, so sorry. Anyway, MB Free, first, his question is: again, I have not played Evolve, but I think it would be a cool crossover, like I said. So, anyway, thank you for those questions. Moving on to the next set of questions. Okay, next set of questions come from Travis Rendon, who asks: if you were a Predator, what weapons would you like to have, and what would your mask look like? I think I'd go classic mask, shoulder cannon, net gun, spear, wrist blades, and, of course, the bomb. Standard Predator stuff, more or less. What would you like to see a Alien vs. Predator movie take place on the Xenomorph homeworld? Absolutely. I think that would be a really cool idea, to finally see the Xenomorph homeworld, assuming they don't do the whole thing they did with Prometheus. Yeah. Alright. If you could, would you want the Predator roar in real life? Absolutely. In fact, I used to be, when I was a little younger, I was able to do the Predator clicking sounds. I think I could still do it. Hang on, this is going to be my sad attempt right here. I don't know if the mic's going to pick that up, but yeah, it sounds like snoring, really, but in my younger years, I used to be able to do really good the Predator clicking noise. Yeah, still not good. Anyway. Okay. Thank you for those questions, Travis Rendon. Moving on now to Green Arrow Hunter, who asks: Green Arrow versus the Predator on the island, who wins? I don't know. I have to say Green Arrow, because the DC superheroes have to win, because they're needed. The Predator can just be another Predator anytime. Anyway. What new world would you invent for the Predator? I don't know about new world, but maybe a Predator world where maybe they have the Predator go to a frozen world. They always like heat, so maybe somewhere cold. How about that? Okay. In what wars, ancient or modern, would you like to see the Predator hunt in? I'd like to see the Predator hunt in World War II, like they referenced in. They referenced the Predator there was a Predator in Okinawa in Predator 2. I think that'd be a cool idea. Maybe have the Predator in the Roman Wars during the Roman expansion, and maybe during the Reign of Terror in France. Maybe you have that. So, thank you for those questions, Green Arrow. Moving on now to Robert Avram, who asks, Predator hunts Lobo in DC Universe. Well, it doesn't turn out well. If we're going by pre-52 Lobo, then that Lobo can't die. And no matter how many Predators you would send, pre-52 Lobo would keep kicking ass. Anyway. Kraven the Hunter, Deathstroke, Jonah Hex, the Huntress, Duke Nukem, Legion from Mass Effect were all captured by the Predators and put on one hunting planet. How would the scenario go down? There'd be some major ass-kicking involved. That's all I can say. If you could make your own Predator movie, what would you want to make it about? I would make it, if I could make my own Predator movie, I would want to make it its own, like a period piece. Like, have the Predator in, like, maybe in the 1940s, hunting in the Pacific Isles. Or maybe have the Predator hunting samurai, something like that. Anyway, thank you for those questions, Robert. Moving on now to ActionFan19, who asks, how cool would it be if the Predators were hunting bounty hunters like Lockdown, 6-6, and Boba Fett? Really cool. I think that'd be Predator hunters fighting bounty hunters. There you go. Alright. Second question. How much do you hate AVP Requiem? Oh, God, I hate AVP Requiem. You guys don't even know how much I hate that movie, because it's not much the special effects, and in fact, you can do a a AVP story on Earth and make it work. I just haven't seen it yet. Because, I don't like the first AVP movie because it was so watered down, and also the characters weren't that interesting outside of Carl Bishop Whalen, but yeah, it's not I can watch the first Predator movie, AVP movie. Yeah, I can watch the first AVP movie. The second one is just, oh, look at all the movie references we can throw in because we have no originality. Oh, look, that character's named Dallas. That woman is a military woman. That woman is from the military and is a daughter, just like Ripley and Newt. Yeah, there's just, God. The practical effects, I am so glad that they do have a lot of, like, suitimation for, the aliens and Predators. So, and, the Pred Alien, even though it doesn't look, I don't really like the Pred Alien in this movie, it still looks pretty good. I can't deny that. I hate it, but at the same time, I like how it looks in the movie. Anyway, I could go on and on about AVP Requiem, so, yeah. But I can't. Okay. Do you think the Predators before the Predators hunted other life forms, they hunted each other? Well, in a lot of the Dark Horse comics, they do say that Predators do live in different tribes, and they do hunt one another, and they kind of allude to it in Predators, so I believe it. Anyway, thank you for those questions, Alistair Boneman. Next is Alistair Boneman. Thank you for those questions, ActionFan19. Next set of questions come from Alistair Boneman, who asks, do you think the Predator would make of Godzilla and his fellow kaiju? He'd be like, that'd be one big-ass skull in my trophy room. Too bad it's too powerful. I ain't fighting that. Alright. Have you seen the Predator... have you seen the trailer for Predator Dark Age, and what did you think of it? I have not heard of this. This is new to me, so I'm gonna have to check that out after this Q&A. Alright. Who would win in a fight, an Alpha or Space Marine of the Raven Guard chapter? Basic Space Marine Ninja, okay. I don't know, because I haven't played a lot of Warhammer, so sorry. Anyway. Thank you for those questions, Alistair. Moving on now to Thaddeus Manning, whose first question is... have you read any of the Batman vs. Predator comics? Yeah, I have. I actually own all 3 comics. In fact, I even own the Batman and Superman vs. Alien and Predator comics, which ties in the the Batman. I haven't read the Batman Alien crossovers. I haven't. I know the first one is. I heard the first one is really good. The second one is freaking stupid. So I haven't read the. Also, because the Batman Alien crossovers are really hard to find. So haven't read those. I haven't read the Superman. I have yet to read the Superman Predator crossover, and also the second AVP Alien versus Superman crossover. I do own the trade of Alien versus Superman of Superman Aliens, and like I said, I own all three Batman versus Predator comics, and those are pretty good. Well, the first one's amazing. The second one's pretty good. Third one's just okay. Anyway. If someone were to make robotic prototypes of the Predator with enhanced intelligence and speed, do you think anyone could defeat them? I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe the original Predators fighting Robo-Predators. That'd be cool. Alright. Do you think that the G.I. Joe team could stand up to a small team of Predators? Or would... yeah, I would like... That's another one. G.I. Joe and Predators. That would be a really cool one. That one, Snake Eyes and Predators fighting? Hell yeah. Just thinking of those questions, Thaddeus. Moving on now to Christian Sager, who asks, Predator versus Kraven versus Elmer Fudd. Magical helmet is optional. Elmer Fudd because of the Spirit Magic Helmet. Alright. Second question. I saw a pic on DeviantArt of MKX Molina hitting on the Predator and him having a shocked, disturbed expression. Any thoughts? I would buy it. I would buy that. Alright. What do you think a Predator would consider the ultimate trophy? Maybe Godzilla's head, because that would be freaking impossible. Or even Galactus's skull. That'd be another one. Anyway, thank you for those questions, Christian Sager. Moving on now to Cody Bradish, who asks, if there was a Rambo Predator crossover, how would you like it to go down? I would have it on Earth. I would have it on Earth, and maybe have it that Rambo is sent in on another mission after a squad of Marines go missing in the jungle, and the Predator's there, and he's the one who killed him, and Rambo swears that, you know, this thing ain't getting out alive. I don't know, something like that. Second question. A small group of Predators land on the Planet of the Apes from the original continuity. This is something else I've always wanted to see, a Planet of the Predator. Yeah, there you go, a Planet of the Predator. That's another crossover that would just be like, it just screams, make me, right, you know, create me, make this crossover real. Yeah. Anyway, does the idea of a Predator hunting a group of people on a desert planet after crash landing sound like a good idea to you? Yeah, that actually sounds like a really good idea of you know, just call it Predator Survivors, or actually no, that sounds pretty generic. Or Predator Among the Wreckage. Yeah, that sounds like a really good idea. It does. Thinking of those questions, Cody. Moving on now to Alex Inayez, whose first question is, which other character do you think the Predator would be best friends with in any fictional universe? No one. The Predator is always alone. Alright. What kind of Predator comic crossovers do you want to see now that the Predator is coming back? Like I said, I'm really geared up for Archie vs. Predator, but after that, I would really like some serious ones. So, what I would like to see is maybe, I don't know, like I said, Jurassic Park and Predator, Planet of the Apes and Predator, there was a few others. Maybe RoboCop and Predator? Yeah. Stuff like that. And TMNT Predator. Anyway. And your final question is, what got you into the Predator franchise in the first place? I was 8 years old and I saw the uncut version of the first Predator movie and I was like, I'm hooked. Yeah. There you go. Um, so next, okay, thank you for those questions, Alex. Moving on now to Burnouter7, who asks, "What Predator alt skins would you like to see in Mortal Kombat X?" Alternate skins I'd like to see in Mortal Kombat X. What Predator skins would I like to see in Mortal Kombat X? That's a good question. Maybe the city costume from Predator 2. Maybe do an alternate skin of the bigger Predator, of the the larger Predators from Predators, and the Wolf Predator from AVP Requiem. That was a really cool design too. So there you go. Second question: could a Predator get in a fight? Could a Predator get a fight section in the future? Possibly. I've actually considered that lately. I've actually lately considered the Predator in a fight section, so that's a possibility. It's a strong possibility. Burnouter. All right. Third question? Would you like to see an AVP real-time strategy game? There was actually a while back. I cannot remember this game, but was an AVP real-time strategy game that I had for the Xbox. My brother and I used to play it. You could play as humans, Predator, and Xenomorphs. Yeah, I was kind of ripping off StarCraft, but still, it was pretty good. I cannot remember for the life of me, but I thought it was pretty cool. Anyway, thank you for those questions, Burnouter. Moving on now to burning out. Next set of questions come from Predator Warrior 18, who asks, if they ever do another AVP movie, do you think they should finally have a winner rather than just have both sides kill each other off and have the humans make it out alive? Yeah, I would like a definitive winner. Yeah, let's have that. A definitive winner with the humans just caught as the supporting characters, possibly. Second question: if you were in one of the Weyland-Yutani colonies, and if it was just infested with Xenos, would you rather team up with a group of people who were armed to the teeth, but scared and most likely turn on each other and you? Or would you rather team up with a Predator who was honorable and made you... Oh. Yeah, I'd go with the Predator. Yeah, Predator has a survival rate. Has a better survival rate, so yeah. I said rate, not rape. That'd have been awkward. Can't talk today. Oh my god. Anyway, if they were to do another classic Predator versus Super Predator fight, would you want the classic Predator to win next time? Yeah, I would kind of like that, because there was nothing wrong with the original Predator design. Why make a new one? Anyway, thank you for those questions, Predator Warrior 18. Coming up next is Marquise Rogers. I hope I'm saying that name right, and I apologize if I'm not. Your first question is, would it be cool if they did a Predator TV series? Yeah, maybe do a Predator anthology series. I think that'd be pretty cool. Second question: what is your favorite Predator movie? Like I said, first Predator. And can you imitate the Predator sound? I tried earlier in this video and I failed miserably. Anyway, thank you for those questions, Marquise Rogers. Moving on now to Major Badass, whose first question is, top 5 characters you would like to see the Predator hunt. The Ninja Turtles, dinosaurs from Jurassic Park, the apes from the Planet of the Apes, Klingons, and there's another one. Maybe the Zerg from StarCraft. Alright, what alien race do you think would give the Predators a run for their money? The Skrulls, the Kree, the Zerg, the Skrin from Command and Conquer. A few of those guys. The Zealots, the Protoss. A few of those guys. What other fictional hunters would you like to see hunt a Predator, and which do you think could kill one? Boba Fett, probably be able to kill one. Kraven, probably as well. Sabretooth. A few of those guys. Alright, thank you for those questions, Major Badass. Moving on now to Eugerus Vosphorus, who asks, what is your favorite Predator comic? Already answered that. What are 5 things you would like to see? Okay, again, already answered that. And how would you make your own Predator game? I think I would make it similar to the original Predator Concrete Jungle game. Have it but make it more free roam. Because if I remember right, that game didn't let you free roam. So, yeah, free roam Predator game in the city, hunting people in between missions. There you go. Alright. Thank you for those questions. Moving on now to Wolfman the Impaler, who asks, how would you write a Predator story focused on the Predators themselves? I think I would delve more into the Predator society, and maybe make it like the Predators are having like a tribal war among themselves. Something like that. Alright, second question, what kind of warriors would you want to see the Predator hunt? I think like in terms of like historical things for the Predator to hunt, yeah, Roman centurions, Spartans, samurais, ninjas, the Indian Rajput warriors, those would be really good. Native American, Cherokee Indians, those guys would give the Predators a run for their money. Actually, no, that did kind of happen in big games, so take that back, that kind of already happened. Yeah, a few of those guys. Anyway, so, next question. Since Godzilla's going to hell, why not this question? What would happen if a Predator were to find its way into hell and encounter some of the different demons? That would be very interesting if a Predator in hell hunting its way through all these very powerful demons. That would be something to see, and maybe have it that this Predator's been on Earth and some of its human trophies are down there waiting for him. That'd be pretty fun. Anyway, next question. Thank you for those questions, Wolfman the Impaler. Coming up next is Jason Voorhees 2011, who asks, which type of Predators, classic City Hunter, Lost, Elder, Berserk, Falconer, Tracker, Wolf, would you like to see as in MKX's different skins with different moves like all the MK characters have? Kind of already answered this already, Jason. Okay, second question. What would happen if in the reverse situation where Ripley and the Colonial Marines went up against some of the Predators and Dutch and his crew had to fend off Xenomorphs? Well, Predators have killed... In the Dark Horse comics, you see the Predator kill their way through Colonial Marines, so it's a possibility that these guys would not be coming home alive either. And the Xenomorphs would probably be tearing their way through Dutch and the others, so probably not. Alright, and what is your opinion on Predator 2? Like I said, I kind of like it. It's not a perfect movie, but I still enjoy it all the same, excuse me. Okay. So, next set of questions come from Linerman0245, whose first question is, which crossover would be better in your opinion? Thing Predator or Guyver Predator? Oh, John Carpenter's The Thing and Predator would be really fun. Although I would like to see Guyver too. So I'm down for either, really. All right. How bad would it be if the Predator got a hold of the Guyver unit? It would be really bad. Really bad. Alright. How much of an awesome battle would it be? Super Predators going toe-to-toe with a clan of Bigfoots. That would be awesome. Predator fighting a Bigfoot? Hell yeah. Anyway. So thank you for those questions, Linerman. Moving on now to King Nazru, who asked, whose first question is, Santa is incapacitated and Christmas is in danger. And the only way you realize that would help is the people who would help is Predator. If you get together, Predator, Mr. Hyde, Bloody Mary, Melina, Excalibur, and Majin Buu. How would you persuade them? I'd be like, none of you get presents, and they would all work together, then kill each other afterwards. Yeah. Second question. Do you think the Predator would worship Hysene from Skyrim? The Daedric Lord of Hunting. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, like I said, it's Probably. I mean, god of hunting, predators hunt a lot, so yeah, makes sense. Final question: would you be cool with the Predator and Jason teaming up? Are we talking Jason Todd or Jason Voorhees? Because I don't think it would work either way. Sadly, I don't think they would get along. Either Jasons would get along very well. All right. All right, and next set of questions come from Sean Full Dark, who asks, if you were in charge of making the films, which would you actually use a female predator in one of the films as the hunting predator? I would like to use a female predator, but maybe have some male predators in there too, because we do know that in the comics the female predators do hunt too. So I think it would be, but I don't know if like the general audience would be okay with a female predator as the main focus of a film, you know what I mean? It's a little sexist, I know, but it's kind of sad, one of those sad but true kind of focuses. So I would have a female predator in there. That I would have it in the movie, though. Would have a female predator hunting people as well. All right. How would the predator go about hunting a Cybertronian? I don't know, because they don't really seem, the predators aren't really interested in they're only interested in organic life, so they probably wouldn't be interested in inorganic life. So they probably, same with the gems, they probably wouldn't be interested. Alright, and the third question is, I have not read the DC comics in a really long time, and thanks to the new 52, probably never, but how would the Predator go about the DC heroes? Well, the Predator's already gone against Superman and Batman, so Predator hunting Wonder Woman, that would be fun. Predator hunting, that would be pretty cool, or Predator hunting the Question, also really fun. Anyway, so that looks like it's all the questions. Once again, I want to thank everyone for asking questions. This was a lot of fun. And also, once again, if I did not answer someone's question, that usually means YouTube is being a dick, and I want to apologize for that, but yeah, it's kind of out of my power, unfortunately. Anyway, once again, hope you all enjoyed this Q&A, and I will see you guys later.